Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to my channel if you're new here. My name is Claire and I put out videos about luxury bags and accessories. So if that's your thing, please hit the subscribe button, click on the notification bell and you'll know when I upload a new video. And I'll pop my Instagram handle up here so you can pop over there and follow me on Instagram. Okay, in today's video I'm going to explain why I haven't been around for a little while. I've had a bit of a break, not intentional, it just happened because I was just so busy over the summer. After a couple of years of hardly doing anything, I had so much packed into the last couple of months. I was away a lot, pretty much most weekends in July and August I've been away, and what I thought I'd do is explain where I went and talk about the bags, the luxury bags and the non-luxury bags that I used on these trips, just to show that you know, these bags I have do get used. This summer some of them definitely got some use. So the first thing was back in July we went on a family holiday, which was our first family holiday for longer than just a couple of days, for quite a while, and we only went in the UK. We went to a seaside town and it was absolutely lovely. The weather was fantastic. In fact, it was during that week where the UK had the really couple of hot days that went up into the 40s, so for a couple of days we couldn't do an awful lot because it was so hot, but the rest of the time the weather was really nice and we went out and about. We did also go outside of school holiday time, which meant that it was a little bit cheaper for us, and also it was a bit quieter and the beaches were a bit quieter, so it was really good. Now in terms of the bags I took, I actually packed very light for this holiday because we knew the weather was going to be good, didn't need to pack a suitcase full of jumpers and cardigans and coats, so it was pretty much just summer dresses and beachwear and flip-flops, that sort of thing. So I was able to pack very light. We obviously did have a bit of capacity to take quite a bit of stuff because we were driving there, so we had the car, but even so I took a slightly larger than cabin size kind of suitcase with just my clothes and shoes in, and the bag that I used for everything else, which was basically my toiletries, my personal items, was my Rive Gauche from Saint Laurent, the black one. Now this is quite a large bag and it really did sort of show me its worth during that holiday, because I was able to put my toiletry bag, makeup bag, I put my iPad, my hair straighteners, my hairdryer, all those sorts of personal items in this bag, so that just my clothes and shoes were in my case. And yeah, it really held up well. It was a very useful, functional bag for all of that. In terms of the daytime and my sort of everyday bag on holiday, I used this bag, which I don't think I've shown you before. This is my only bag from Coach. Now this is a Coach tabby, and again, really like this bag. It's the bag that probably got me really wanting a Fendi baguette, because it's very similar shape to the Fendi baguette, and like that bag it comes with a really good crossbody strap. This is removable and adjustable, and it also comes with this second strap, which is like a little small shoulder strap. Now the reason I took this was because I thought I could use this in the day with the crossbody strap as an everyday bag, and I thought if we did end up going out in the evening, then I could pop the smaller strap on to make it a little bit more dressy, make it a shoulder bag. Inside this particular bag you have a couple of compartments and a zipped compartment in the middle. You have a slip pocket there, and there's a little slip pocket at the front. I've got a load of receipts from my holiday in there at the moment. It's got a lovely sort of suede burgundy lining, and the bag is actually a kind of a mixture of smooth and pebbled oak coloured leather. So you know, I know Coach is not necessarily considered a luxury brand, it's a contemporary brand. I feel Coach bags are such good quality, you know, they are up there with some of the luxury brands. Their price point is a little bit more affordable, and I think you honestly can't go wrong with a Coach bag. I mean, I really found this useful on my holiday. Oh, I forgot to mention, it's also got a slip pocket at the back, so that was where my phone went. So I just used this every day on holiday when we did go out, popped it on crossbody, and I was good to go. It fitted all the essentials. I would say it doesn't fit a large amount, it does just fit the essentials, because these compartments are quite narrow. However, I could definitely get what I needed for a day out in those compartments and have enough room, as I say, for my phone in the back pocket. So that was my Coach tabby. I ended up not using this strap because we didn't go out in the evening in the end, but it's obviously nice to have that option. So the other bag I used on holiday, and yes, you've seen this before, was my medium Loewe basket bag. And yes, indeed, I did have it with the liner that I made. And I'll pop the video where I talk about this liner and the fact I made this for this bag up above for you if you haven't seen that. The liner was fantastic, and again I'll pop some pictures of me using the bag with the liner with all my stuff in. It really did help. It made it a much more usable bag, much more easy to use, and everything I took to the beach fitted in the pockets fine, and I had plenty of space in the rest of the bag for all the bigger items. So yeah, this was pretty much my beach bag and day out bag. So yeah, that was a really good, again, functional bag for me. So they were the main bags I used on holiday. That was it. It was not a holiday where I needed to take a lot of bags. We weren't eating out, going out all the time. We were just chilling at our accommodation because it had facilities there, and we were going on walks and we were going to the beach. And so really I didn't need a ton of designer bags on that particular holiday. So I came back from that holiday and only had a few days, and then I was off again. Now this time I was off for a work trip. I was going to a work seminar in France. Now it's the first time I've flown or been abroad for about probably 4 or 5 years actually. And so I had to think hard about packing for that sort of trip because it's something I haven't done for a while. It was a work trip as well, so obviously that kind of informed what type of bags I took. Flying was cheap and cheerful. It was EasyJet, so I had cabin baggage only. So I had a cabin suitcase, and then I needed to take one sort of piece of hand luggage. I looked at my designer bags, I thought about what I could take, and in the end I plumped for, again, what some people say isn't really designer. I think they are definitely, again, up there in terms of quality, but I plumped for my Longchamp bags. Now I've got 2 Longchamp Le Pliage bags, a smaller one and a larger one, and I actually ended up taking both. Now the fact that they fold up make them really easy to carry and transport. So what I did initially, I packed and I took the smaller one. So I had this as my sort of other piece of hand luggage as well as my cabin bag, and I just had this larger bag folded up and tucked in the front of my suitcase because my cabin suitcase has a pocket at the front, and I was able to just pop this inside. So this bag had a few essentials for the trip, plus my small bag of liquids that you obviously have to put through security. So once we'd got to the airport and gone through security, we then had a couple of hours to wait for the flight, and we needed to buy some provisions because we knew that where we were going in France didn't have a lot of supermarkets or places like that nearby. We were also relying on lifts from the hotel to the headquarters where my work seminar was taking place, and obviously relying on lifts, we didn't know if we'd be able to ask anybody to stop so that we could run into a shop and get drinks and things like that. So at the airport we bought a supply of water, soft drinks and some snacks and things like that. So I then decided to actually swap into my larger Le Pliage bag so that those bottles of drink would fit in one bag, so I wasn't carrying an extra carrier bag onto the plane. So I had this bag initially, as I said, this is the smaller Le Pliage tote. I took out this bag and opened it up, slightly larger, swapped everything into here, folded up the other one and put that in the front of my suitcase, and I carried this one then onto the plane. As long as it's not totally and utterly full up, you can squash it down quite well and it fits under the seat. It's nylon, it's very durable, it's just got the leather handles and flap. I didn't need to worry about it. It's got to go on the plane floor, it's got to be shoved under a seat. I probably would have felt a bit nervous had this been one of my very expensive designer bags, but given the durability of this, I wasn't worried at all popping this under the seat. So for my element of luxury on my work trip, I took 2 other bags. The first one was my Chanel wallet on chain. I actually wore this travelling. I had the chain out and had it crossbody. in here I just put my cash, my cards, my passport, my essential documents I needed for the journey, and I just had that crossbody. When I was actually on the plane, I popped the chain inside and I put this inside the large lit pliage tote to keep it safe, and again it was tucked under the seat inside the tote, and it was functioning then just as a wallet. Obviously that's what it is, a wallet on a chain, but I used it just as a crossbody when I was in the airports and travelling. I had a tram and a train to go on, and it was easy to just pop in and out. My phone was in here too, to get tickets, to get the essential things I needed during the journey. So my wallet on chain, fabulous little bag, absolutely love it. It's gone up again in the latest Chanel price increase, I believe, but you know, I still think it is a fab little bag. And the only other bag I took was my Aspinall of London Micro Lottie in the kind of rose gold or nougat colour. Again, I've mentioned this before. I just took this as an evening bag. During the seminar at work in the day, I used my smaller lit pliage tote because that had my, you know, essentials, notebook, pens, things like that I needed for the seminar. And then we had quick trips back to the hotel, quick change, and then back to the seminar HQ for sort of evening reception, food, entertainment, that sort of thing. Very, very hot in France. It was 35, 36 degrees, so it was just summer dresses, and I found that I just wore this little bag crossbody. It was kind of casual enough crossbody with the dresses, but just dressed them up a little bit for the evening. Again, fitted my essentials in, everything I needed for the evening. So that packed up very small in my luggage, and that was it. Didn't need to take any other bags on that particular trip at all. So very happy with the ones I took. And I have to say, you know, say what you want about Longchamp, their bags are fantastic. They are so durable, they are so functional. I have got a few of these lit pliage totes in different colours. And I know the people who talk about them on YouTube who have got the leather versions and have got other versions absolutely rave about them. I really, you know, can't praise them enough. For the price point, they are such fantastic bags. So, back from France, and it was then just a few days and I went on a camping trip. I've mentioned this before, I do go camping a couple of times a year with my son, and I don't take any designer bags or any designer items when I go camping. Everything is in the tent, it's not secure, you can't lock stuff up, so you know, I don't want to risk taking any designer bags in terms of them being damaged or being stolen, anything like that. So I take a good old tote bag. It's not leather, but it's durable. It's got a pretty little rose on the front, and it's enormous. It fits everything I need, and I usually do take as well this kind of little, again, non-leather waist bag as a smaller bag. And yeah, this is my camping bag. I think I've shown it before. Absolutely no need to take designer items away when I'm camping. Then I returned home from camping, a few more days and another weekend away. Again, this was quite different, and this is where I did take some designer items because this was for a wedding, and it was a lovely wedding in Cornwall, a very, very long trip. It was sort of as far in Cornwall as you can get, and so it took many hours to drive there. Again, we had a bit of flexibility because it was a driving trip, so we could take a little bit more, but I did try to pack light. I wanted to pack as light as I could. I did have to take my small sort of cabin case, and I did have to take an extra bag, just purely because we had all the wedding paraphernalia. We had outfits, we had shoes, bags, all that sort of thing for the wedding. Once again, I relied on the larger lit pliage tote. So I had cabin suitcase and I had this tote. I had in here some toiletries, my hair products, and hair styling tools. If I was just going away for a normal weekend, I would have used the hairdryer and in the hotel, but because it was a wedding and I wanted to do my hair particularly nice, I took my own styling tools. The wedding was on a cliff at the seaside, pretty much as I stepped out of the hotel, my hair was blown to pieces, so actually I needn't have bothered, but you know, it did look nice before I left the hotel. So what did I take with me? Well, my main handbag for the weekend was my, again, trusty Saint Laurent Small Lulu, because it just held what I needed and is a lovely bag, looks very classy, and yeah, that was my main bag. My bag for the wedding, that was my very special bag, and this was the one I unboxed a little while ago, and I said I had an event to go to. It was my Chanel mini reissue in the gold, and I will pop a picture up here of me wearing the bag, my outfit, the whole ensemble at the wedding. This was a fabulous bag, absolutely wonderful to carry. I felt very special, very elegant. I did get a liner for it, so if I get the chains out of the way, here we go, I can show you the liner. This is the liner that I got for it. It's a Zumoni one, so that popped in there. So I, again, was able to put my essentials in there. I didn't use this. You do get this little sort of lipstick case or mini case with the Zumoni liners. I do have a couple that I do use. I haven't actually used this one yet that goes with this. This liner had a couple of slip pockets in it, so I was able to pop cards, cash, lip balm, phone, lippy. That's all I really needed for the wedding. Now, you may notice in the photo, I'm not wearing the Fendi Calibri Light shoes in gold that I again bought to go with that bag, and I did buy with that particular event in mind. Sadly, they are still wrapped up in their box. These were the shoes, if you remember me showing them to you a while back. Yes, unused at the moment. Sadly, still in their box. A little while after I bought them, I was chatting to the bride, and she was telling me that the church was basically on the cliff by a beach. The only path to it was a very sandy, stony path. The car park was a kind of a stony, sandy beach car park. There was another car park that again was just stones. The path from that car park was cobbles. Then she said when we get back to the hotel there would be a champagne reception on the grass. Because the hotel was on a cliff, there was then also the possibility that we would walk down the steps to the beach and have photographs on the beach. And I just knew that A, these shoes were completely impractical for that sort of terrain, and B, they would get totally trashed. And again, as much as I want to wear and enjoy my designer items and not worry about them, deliberately taking them to an area where I know they're going to get trashed is not a sensible thing to do. So sadly, I decided it was probably best not to wear those shoes for that particular occasion. So I had to look around for another pair of shoes, and I found a pair from Whistles. So I'll just show you, just pop them out of the box. So as you can see from the photo, these were what I was wearing. They went, again, very well with the gold Chanel mini reissue. Colour wise, they were perfect. You don't have to match your shoes to your bag, I know, but for special occasions I kind of feel like that I like to have some coordination there, and I had some gold thread running through the dress, so I just felt I wanted to match the bag and the shoes on this occasion. You can see I have worn the shoes. That's the effect on those from the stones and the cobbles and so on, so it's not too bad. But the main thing with these is they had the very small block heel, which I felt would cope with that terrain much, much better. These shoes were still quite expensive. I mean, they're certainly not designer prices, but they were still fairly pricey as shoes go. But for me, they were worth it. They haven't been trashed. I wore them all day. I'd consider just wearing those shoes for when we were outside, and maybe wearing the Calibris when we were inside the hotel with the wedding breakfast in the evening, but I just decided no, and I wore those shoes the whole day, and they were extremely comfortable and very practical, but they still were high enough and nice enough that they just gave me that feeling of elegance and feeling of, you know, having a small heel on anyway. So practicality had to win out in that occasion. I'm still to wear these beautiful shoes. I did consider returning them when I found out I probably wouldn't be able to wear them to that occasion, but I thought no, I love them too much. they, to coin a phrase, are timeless and classic, and I know there'll be other occasions where I can wear these, so I'm just going to have to, you know, really look forward to wearing them in the future. So that was my wedding weekend. Again, the bags and the shoes that I took to that. I then came home, and I've been home for a little while now. It's been quite busy with work. I have another camping trip coming up, so that again will be the non-designer items. But that gives you an idea of the sorts of bags that I found very useful and I used over the summer. I'm going to mention one more bag that I have been using all of the summer, in particular in between my trips when I've been back at home, although I did take it on holiday and I did take it to the wedding in Cornwall. And that is this little pouch bag from Louis Vuitton. It's called the Ipanema and it has been discontinued. This particular piece is from 2011. I did buy it pre-loved. I probably overpaid a little bit at the time when I bought it a few years back, but given the increase in Louis Vuitton canvas prices, it's probably caught up now, to be honest. But it really is one of my probably best cost per wear bags because I wear it pretty much every day. It is a belt bag and it has the loops so that you can crossbody it. It came with this strap. The idea is that you sort of put it on your own belt. I don't think I've ever really worn it as a belt bag. I've just worn it as a crossbody. The crossbody strap is adjustable. It fits me perfectly. It's got a little pocket, slip pocket at the front, a zip, and then quite a generous pocket inside. I find this is just perfect at home for popping down the shops. Just pop in my keys, cards, phone, that's it. Don't really need to take anything out. Very, very quick trips I take this on. I go, you know, use this to go to the post office, the vet, the dentist, you know, the supermarket, whatever. And when I was away, I just used it when we went out for walks and I just wanted to take my phone and my lip balm with me. I used it for the couple of nights we were in the hotel for the wedding where it wasn't the wedding day, and we just went down to the hotel bar for some drinks, and I just slung this on crossbody just so that I had my cards and my phone, that sort of thing, and the room key. Took it to breakfast with me, again just pop it crossbody, so I've got my room key, my phone, lip balm, that sort of thing. Yeah, and it is fantastically useful bag. As I say, sadly it is discontinued now, but you can find them on the pre-loved market, and as I say, I believe it's called the Ipanema bag, and obviously I've got it in the Damier Ebene canvas. No idea if it ever came in any other canvas, but you know, for me this is just a lovely everyday, don't have to baby it, grab and go bag. I always have this hanging in our hallway, so if I need to pop out at a moment's notice, grab it, sling everything in, pop it on crossbody, and I'm good to go. So that was the last bag of all these bags I've been showing you, just to sort of say what I used this summer, what I've been up to. The next video I'm going to upload is a video I actually filmed at the beginning of the summer. It's a Fendi unboxing. The reason it was delayed was that when I edited it back, I realised something and I needed to make some additions to it. So I'm not going to say any more, you'll have to wait for that video. It will be the next one, hopefully, that I upload, and hopefully all will become clear once you watch that video. But it's just to explain why this video is kind of being filmed and uploaded now towards the end of August, and the next video is an earlier video that was filmed sort of at the beginning of July time. So anyway, I'll stop rambling now, and hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you have enjoyed it, please give it the thumbs up. It would be wonderful if you would subscribe. Keep an eye out for that next video, as I mentioned, the Fendi unboxing. And thanks for watching, everyone. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye, everyone.